Alright, welcome back. This is SAS69. Today we're going to talk about engineering perceptions. So, there's this one funny pattern that I've noticed whenever I throw out a title. There's a formula to it. There's a recipe to sort of extending the ideas. I'm sort of trying to. I'm not trying to. I'm accidentally realizing patterns to serendipity. So, for example, right now, just 2 minutes ago, I thought of writing engineering perceptions from the perspective of engineering others' perceptions. But then you could also engineer your own perception, and that would yield completely different results and would yield completely different. Would demand completely different actions and inputs. This also happened for another video, another essay. I think it was about I don't remember. It was about it was a similar pivot. I was thinking about doing something in the generic sense for others, as in doing applying that concept for others, but then when applied to yourself by yourself, so it was inducing novelty from an external perspective. Chasing novel things in themselves that are extrinsically novel is a completely different problem than, say, perceiving the same thing or same situation or same happening as novel via tweaks in your own perception. So this pattern of the internal and the external, controlling the external and the internal, sort of changes the game completely in terms of how you see things. So this is a pattern that I observed in one of these by what 10 of these SASs. We're doing x9, but then because I'm a programmer, we start from 0, and of course it's x, so we start with x0. So yeah, that's interesting. So I'm beginning to realize patterns in just rambling in itself. That is quite interesting. So the challenge remains to still be serendipitous while you're aware that you're not being one. Yeah, you're not being a serendipitous person and still choosing to be serendipitous in some way. How do you demand or force serendipity is again something we need to explore. You cannot just let it happen. So what is true serendipity? Is it just a very knowledgeable person, a very wise person, when they speak, it's not that they're being serendipitous, it's just that they have thought a lot, they have studied a lot. The skills are at a higher level, so that they can convey whatever they've grasped in a poetic manner. So they can distill it in a poetic manner. That's a different thing than being serendipitous. What is true serendipity then is, I think, look at how interesting that is. I thought I was going to talk about engineering perceptions, but then we're going to go meta today. I'm gonna change the topic for the day, and we're going to go be what is true serendipity. That is true serendipity now. Yeah, that is really insane levels of serendipity if you're changing the topic middle of the video. Okay, so what is true serendipity? Yeah. So what I've noticed from these videos of mine is let's get into a rocking mode. That helps me think whenever I rock back and forth. What's serendipity really? I mean, I just mentioned, if a person is pretty knowledgeable and has been doing what they do or what they're talking about for a while, they know the nuances, as an LLM would say. It's one of those words, nuances delve, as an LLM would say. I'm going to use that phrase. As an LLM would say is something that a human would say. So that's another thing. Alright, I wonder how LLM thinks about LLM thinks about humans. How do LLMs interact with each other when they, how is it like inter-agentic protocol, like agent to agent stuff, not the data enforcements, not the structures, but then how do they actually, do they pamper us when they talk to us compared to say just another LLM? Probably need to investigate this sometime. But yeah, back to the idea. True serendipity. Does it even lie in sticking to a topic for 30 minutes then and rambling about one particular topic? Does that, am I truly being serendipitous when I say choose a topic and I talk for 30 minutes about that? That's one question. Secondly, okay, why do I enjoy serendipity? Serendipity is also another question that I don't quite know the answer to. I do enjoy it. I know that there's a verifiability to it. If you enjoy it or not, does the power of verifiability. You can verify if you enjoy it or not, but then you probably cannot reason what makes it so enjoyable. I cannot pinpoint why be serendipitous. But yes, the question is also, should it matter if should I even think about true serendipity? As in, does it matter if my thoughts are pre-engineered or on the fly? So what difference does that make? In of course, in different contexts, you would want a pre-engineered thought. But then let's say you get the same content. You have two different people. One is being truly serendipitous and thinking on the fly, and the other has done it all, has thought about it all, and is giving a very crafted response. Neuroscience wise, the former will probably have more fun, because there's just these intellectual eurekas that probably don't have a word for them. Probably goosebumps at the back of your head when something clicks, when sort of when yeah, something just fits. Yeah, that intellectual eureka. I probably don't think so. A wise person, of course, has probably had too many of those already, and the density of those decreases across the life, across their life. As in intellectual eurekas per year or per minute, or I don't know what would be the most sensible way. What is the most sensible way to benchmark these sort of things? I'm wondering how to benchmark wisdom. I mean, IQ tests and everything, that's fine, but then how to really benchmark wisdom? And why would you want to benchmark wisdom? Probably a wise person would not want to benchmark wisdom. So I think serendipity is on that level. How do you benchmark serendipity? I mean, I do say I'm offering serendipity as a service, but then what are my QoS protocols? What's my quality of service assurance to you? How do you actually know if I'm being serendipitous, or how do I ensure that the quality? What's my quality engineering pipeline like? So that in itself is a very interesting problem. Now, one way to feign serendipity or fake it is to say sort of observe patterns. So one pattern that I talked about in the higher order patterns in the beginning of this video is completely changing the perspective from say intrinsic to extrinsic, or the other way around, on an abstract topic. Completely changes the crux of the idea being discussed. So inducing novelty by changing external things versus changing your own internal perceptions to actually experience novelty, the internal and the external, one of those higher order patterns that helps you sort of expand upon what you were talking about. So this is one thing. I'm not studying any of these. I'm just going to observe them over the course of multiple videos. Another one that I'm noticing right now is just making connections between two domains. So if you're already well versed within two separate domains, already a competent person in them, trying to make connections, analogies, is probably another way to feign serendipity. Truly being at the frontier of a domain is what sort of feels the most difficult way of doing things. To retrofit one domain into another, that seems fine. That seems okay. It's not a skill per se, just more of an effort thing. But to truly expand a domain. So another pattern that I'm seeing is asking questions to yourself, the hard questions, not shying away from them, being okay with not knowing the answer right away. So if I say the question that I'm asking right now, what really is true serendipity? I don't know the answer to that. If this was a usual podcast or usual, I don't know, a ramble or something, a monologue or something, I wouldn't have gotten into that question. I wouldn't even have dared to change the topic in the middle of the video. So asking those difficult questions which you don't know the answer to and expanding upon them in different directions is probably the way to go. So I mean, if we really wanted to find out the nature of serendipity, true serendipity, I would probably have to begin conducting some experiments and try and be more honest with you guys. So I probably need a switch. I need a switch, a serendipity switch. If I'm truly being serendipitous right now in the moment, or is it an old thought that is arising again, and I'm just linking stuff. So I probably could have a flip switch at the right side here, probably a control panel or something. Something that I flip when I'm being honest about if I've already explored this notion, or if I'm thinking about it in the moment. So there's a couple of patterns that you've understood to sort of extending a conversation. This idea of so there's people, there's humans who could just talk for as much as they want to, and they could still sound interesting. What is that nature of sounding interesting is what I would like to get into. Serendipity probably also makes the conversation interesting for the person itself, the person as well. So true serendipity, that's probably one of the most interesting questions I've asked in a while. The way I think right now, okay, so serendipity switch sort of off. For a while I'm going to express what and how I'm thinking in this way. The way I think when I want to expand on these conversations, or when I say cognitively expand upon a topic, is I have a bunch of tooling that I maintain with me. So one is like zooming in. Of course, zooming in, you specialize into the domain, you get into the weeds, you try seeing more details. The other is you zoom out, you try finding the abstract patterns. Third is you make links. By making links, I mean you retrofit another domain's abstractions into this one, or you try to port this domain, you apply it on another domain. So that's application and evaluation in another. Okay, the third tooling is evaluation in another context, and the fourth is application to another context. All right, so that's that. So these tooling. Fifth is probably courage. Courage. Not worrying about sounding stupid, or Fifth is that. Now my serendipity switch is on. So this act of enlisting. So to just enlisting things, and reaching the end of your reaching your limits, and then forcing yourself to actually go on. That is the sixth one, and that is serendipitous right now, as of now. So the first five that I talked about, those were already known to me. But then the sixth one, when I ran out of stuff, when I was scarce on thought, is when I was truly being serendipitous. That is really interesting. That is something new that I've sort of realized today. I might have already known it. Uh, so yeah, true serendipity. We're getting into the points, huh? So enlisting things and running to the end is a very interesting way to induce serendipity. So probably give yourself enough time whenever you're stuck, probably facing creative blocks. Enlist everything and try not to judge the ideas right away. But then soon, once the mud settles, once what you already know settles down, it brings you back into the present when you run out. So in the present, when I'm talking about true serendipity and when I ran out of knowledge and wisdom regarding my past efforts towards being a better converser, I realized that I'm running out, and that is forcing me to be serendipitous, and that in itself is a point towards the present. So that is one interesting thing that I realized today. So there's this another pattern of learning versus realizing. Now, okay, my serendipity switch is off right now. Probably in the future I wouldn't even need to tell you if I'm being serendipitous or not by the way I frame things. So whenever I do, okay, by the way, that probably means I am just recalling that means that I'm calling upon some old stuff. I'm not going to get into NLP and stuff here. I know that stuff. Depending on where I look and stuff, yeah, you could do that analysis, but then I personally don't find it helpful. I don't find it helpful on confusing personalities, especially people who have studied it. So yeah, I mean I don't quite rely upon it a lot. So yeah, there should be ways to convey if I'm being serendipitous in the moment or not. So this act of engineering serendipity, engineering true serendipity, it could be a very interesting game. Okay, my switch is off right now, by the way. I've always been on the lookout of cognitive games, and then probably having serendipitous thoughts, forcing serendipitous thoughts, getting there in the quickest manner. That probably is a nice way, a nice game when we're trying to kill time. I mean, there's a whole bunch of times when I'm trying to kill time, and mental games are sort of nice. They're nice to have at your disposal. So, forcing serendipity. And all of this arose from the thought of, if I'm offering serendipity as a service, I need to have some quality assurances. What's my QoS? Yeah, QoS. That's interesting. Yeah. So it's so odd. I mean, whenever I am not speaking in the moment, just before the video in itself, or right when I'm thinking of what I have to speak about, say tomorrow or the day after, I am the most confused in terms of what I should speak about. But the moment I start speaking, everything just falls into place. So serendipity cannot be by definition itself, and from anecdotes, from experience as well, I cannot plan it. So how do I assure it? How do I have quality assurance practices around it? I mean, how do you know I'm not fooling you? So of course, one way. Okay, this is my switch being off. It's still off. I'm still running through older ideas. One way is to ensure your originality in thought. The best way to do that is just stay away from conventional wisdom and what's happening around you, and what the masses probably think. So that's a okay. So right now, what could be truly serendipitous for me could be something previously heard for you, or something that is previously heard for you could be, yeah. And what I've already dealt with before could be truly serendipitous for you. So again, this pattern of intrinsic versus extrinsic, applying that on true serendipity, how do I even define a quality assurance protocol? I mean, who is the gauge? Am I the one to decide, am I being serendipitous? Who is the one who controls the switch? Or is it the audience who sort of feel like they're experiencing serendipity, but not a ramble, not a discourse? So how do you measure that? First of all, measuring serendipity is going to be a very interesting problem in the context of masses, in the context of multiple people watching this video. A voting mechanism, probably a voting switch. So right now, how I was dealing with a switch, a live platform to handle multiple such switches, an on or an off. But then I'll probably just have to go live for that, and everyone, no one's coming in live for that. That's an interesting way to do it, I guess. Just have switches for everyone rather than just the author saying stuff. So, quality assurance protocols around serendipity. Very, very interesting problem. I mean, it's probably the most offbeat problem that I've been thinking about for a while now. Yeah, I should probably also just start making notes about the questions that I have in these videos. And so initially, okay, this is initially just a quick plugin. I used to have videos like this before, and I used to have them via sticky notes. I mean, I used to truly induce serendipity. I used to infuse it in my environment. So what I did was I had a lot of sheets like these. Whenever I had an idea, let's say true serendipity, I had an idea, I would sort of write it down on this. I would crumple it and I throw it down in a box. And whenever I got to a video, or whenever I sat down to shoot, I would pull out a note at random, and just just ramble on about that. So those were sort of extremely fun days. That was true serendipity, I would say, in an engineered manner. I sort of engineered serendipity, so that was really interesting. I might do that again, I guess. So rather than just sticking to a topic every day, I have a lot of ideas, of course. So I write them throughout the day on these. I crumple them so I don't see what's what, and I put them in a box. And whenever I sort of record these videos for 30 minutes, I probably pull out a random idea. Not a random, okay. I mean, nothing's truly random or nothing's truly determined. Again, okay. Whenever I pull out an idea, I expand upon that. So this okay. By the way, my serendipity switch has been on for a while. Even though, that's interesting. Even though it was something that I did in the past, it is only now that I'm realizing that I was implicitly engineering serendipity. Okay, so that's another pattern that we found to realize that you're being serendipitous, is sort of looking at the things that you did in the past in a new manner, in a new way, to realize stuff. Something that you already had, something you didn't need to actually change something in you, but you literally changed your past by the way you frame it, and that sort of helped you expand upon the idea. Okay, I mean, that is really interesting. I think these videos are gonna get a whole lot more interesting. I mean, the mud is settling. We've been in through 10 SaaSes, Serendipity as a service, 10 of them. So I'm going to begin with these, of course. I'm going to begin with these. I have a whole bunch flying around, so I just note down stuff. I crumple them, I put them in a box, and every morning I pull out an idea and expand upon it. That's going to be some next level extempore stuff. Yeah, I think that's it for today. Knowing when to end a video is going to be a challenge for us every day. I'll probably stick with the 25-minute mark because yeah, I mean, I could go on for hours. It's not optimal. It's not optimal. To really optimize the long term, I'll have to sort of pace myself. Pacing myself is another idea that I have. My switch is off, by the way, right now. Serendipity switch is off. Pacing myself is another very, very deliberate thought that I have to delve into, as I would say, again and again, to really optimize long-term returns. So that should probably be another chit that goes into the box. Yeah, thanks for tuning in. This was the Bit-Mage. Do check out the technical aspects of whatever I do in here. So I ramble philosophically in here. I'm trying to engineer the ramble over multiple iterations. So we are finding out patterns. So I will of course make a note of these, and there's a whole bunch of things that we do. Check out the GitHub of Conware Industries. Visit on that domain, you'll find a bunch of links. There's the GitHub as well. On the GitHub, I do have a cartograph. The cartograph is where I sort of plan on noting these sort of pursuits. So engineering serendipity or sort of engineering the true ramble is one of the objectives that could go in, and all of the patterns that we listed today and everything that we find out probably will go in there, and it will be linked to other similar pursuits and domains and nodes. So yeah, I think I should also have a video on my cognitive layers on my tooling. So the physical layer being these sort of chits. I do a whole bunch in Emacs as well. The way I verbalize things, the way stuff happens with video essays is something that's very different to something that happens with blogs. So yeah, I think we're picking up the pace. I'm enjoying the consistency, so I'll continue doing that. That's it. True serendipity. Today was sort of, I sort of broke some walls or something. I changed the topic middle of the video. I'm trying to ask some really difficult questions as to what really is true serendipity. How do I ensure that I'm not conning you, and how should I be aware that I'm conning you if I'm doing it implicitly? How do I truly know if I'm offering serendipity with good quality? Is it really true serendipity? Yeah, it's going to be difficult. It feels like it's going to be fun. So yeah, do check out our partners, thebitmage.com. A lot of what I do in here is more on the cognitive side, and what he does is more on the how of things, the details. He zooms in, he zooms in, zooms out. He sort of over engineers everything. So I try to be sort of hand wavy and more free flowing. But yeah, he tries to over engineer stuff and tries to explain things. So that's that. Thanks for tuning in. See you in the next one. That will be SAS X10, not 10, because we're not doing decimal. So stay tuned for SAS X10, not 10. Yeah, see you in the next one.